Hello, Belle. I just saw your email, so totally, take your time, whatever. Just keep checking in with me via text. Let me know if you need anything, but figured I would still kind of give this very overdue feedback. So right off the bat, I really love how detailed your reflections are getting and observations you're making, and everything's looking great. Keep up with the tone and all of that, kind of how you're talking to him. You're doing a lot less of the repeating yourself too many times. So yeah, keep up the great work. I love that you're implementing all of these things that I'm saying. Great job highlighting, the importance of the modifications and those small achievable goals. With little guys like this or busy bodies like that, sometimes a whole session could just be about regulation and not too much spelling. Of course you want to do the spelling, but if you just need to work on some purposeful motor and keeping him in the chair, then that's fine. I think that was a different room you were in. You might have been at his house, but love the weighted blanket. I forget if I said that. And then I still would always try and have a table in front of him, just so it's kind of, a barrier or a target for when he is roaming. It could help him focus on where he needs to go. Really liked half the board covered. I would keep that up for a little bit, but he was getting super duper accurate. It did seem like the board, it might have just been the camera angle, but it did seem like the board, was a little more in the center of his body. So instead of that, I probably would have pushed your chair back a little bit and made sure the board was right over that right knee, so he wasn't having to do too much of crossing over. He was super duper accurate. Watch that pencil grip. There were a couple times it seemed a little loosey, so just keep resetting. Do I have a pencil in here? I have a pen. So yeah, there were a couple of times that it was mostly just the wrist, but really try and get everyone so there's just a little bit of that pencil, and then just say like forward and back. Watch out for when you're kind of trying to have him reset, instead of physically touching his arm, just think of ways that you could prompt it with your words. And yeah, after about like minute 10 or so, I would have just kept up with greens because he was doing so well. In your reflection, but the video, that crazy video, didn't work. You were asking about the dysregulation, and if anything, sometimes when they're getting a little dysregulated, then that's when I would, try another spell or stand up, have a movement break, or even if the spell seems to be too much, that's when I would just say, all right, give me the first 3 letters of this word, and then move on. And then you can also take it down to, maybe you guys were doing 3 words in between the reading chunk. Instead, just say we're gonna do 2, and then walk around. Definitely always encourage him to walk around or do whatever he wants while you're reading, as long as you can, keep his body in the room. Maybe even when you're reading and he chooses to walk around, I would just sit in front of the door, so he doesn't, your body can kind of be that barricade. And yeah, let me see. I recently actually just got some good advice about a really tricky assessment that I had with a little, and I just could not get his body anywhere near anything. Like, I literally didn't get one word. But what did she say? Sorry, one sec. Yeah, sometimes, you know, all you need to do is work on regulation strategies, purposeful motor stuff, like sticker pages while sitting in a chair, something like that. You know, he's impulsive, so stickers might not be the most efficient task, but at this point in time, or when he seems to be super dysregulated, you can take a break from the spelling and just get the regulation settled. Can work on puzzles, books, purposeful pacing, etc. You know, sitting in the chair, doing an activity could be some goals. Practice the motor of poking by using those like dot marker things. Keep the boards around just so he becomes more accustomed to their presence. And yeah, just sometimes, you know, it's all about that regulation, which is fine. And I think that's it. Again, please always reach out if you need anything, and you're doing great.